Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Centre Circle podcast. I'm your host today, Dale Nichols. Joining me on the panel, we've got regular contributor Drew Ayton to the left, and joining us today, we've also got Simon Thompson representing Aston Villa as well. So I am outnumbered today. Over to you, Simon. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how and why you come to support Aston Villa.
Yeah, I mean it's quite a difficult one for me really, because I went to my first game with my uncle, who was actually a Blue Nose, and he took me down to Villa on Friday night. I remember it well. It was 1984, so that shows how old I am. And it was a Friday night against Liverpool, and I think originally my uncle was going to take me to the Blues game, but the Blues game were playing on the Saturday and the Villa were playing on the Friday. So it was just by luck, he took me down on a Friday night, played Liverpool. We got destroyed off the park in the 80s, like most teams did against Liverpool. And it just tumbled away from there, really. You get the bug, you get the fix, don't you? And then it was just, I just wanted to go and more. And my uncle was saying, well, no, we went to the Friday night game because because I was working a Saturday. You were going to go to Blues. I went, no, I ain't going down the Blues. It'll be the Villa. And it was just not going to fuck from there. I try and go to most home games, being a season get older, and I try and get to most away games as well. And it's just a buzz, isn't it? It's in your blood.
Yeah.
And
just on that, just to sort of touch on that a little bit in terms of we've had this discussion actually probably off the podcast, and we are going to bring this on to one of our subjects in terms of. One of the lads actually thinks that none of our teams have got a good atmosphere at our club, home atmosphere. Now I've sort of, I'm home. I rarely go to away, if I'm being completely honest. But I think in times gone by, you know that Villa's away support's fantastic. But what's your thoughts on Villa's atmosphere, home and away?
I think you've knocked it on the head with the Villa, and I'm going to say something controversial here as well, Dale. Andrew is. The atmosphere of sport down the Villa, as soon as it went 2-tier, the whole team went 2-tier. It just ruined it. You don't get the same atmosphere as it used to be, that massive, great big terrace beyond the goal. And for me, it just ruined the whole atmosphere down the Villa. Yeah, we do get some special nights, but those special nights are goosebumps, really good. But the atmosphere down the Villa, don't get me wrong, and it will upset a lot of people, is not always bang on. Away fans love come down the Villa. Away teams love come down the Villa because it's a traditional stadium. It is, but you got to remember we had that massive, great big terrace. 25,000 all in one stand. It was rocky, and as soon as Doug Ellis ruined it to upper Holt, lower Holt, I think a bit of the Villa went, a bit of the atmosphere went, and it's got to be a full stadium to get that place rocking. Like you mentioned, Drew, not long ago. Everton on that night game was. Just unreal, wasn't it? It's frightening, mate.
Yeah, I have to say, even as a neutral, I think watching that game on that Friday night, was it El Ghazi who got the second goal?
Yeah,
I have to say, I think I texted you on that night, and when you finally got yourself out of the ground, I said that's an atmosphere that I haven't seen the like of for a long time. Even then the Wolves and what we'd achieved even in the Championship winning season, that was an incredible atmosphere. It sounded fantastic on TV. And I think coming onto the point about the Holt, that's the one thing I really wish we do hold on to over the years, is that the South Bank being that single-tiered stand, it is traditional and it does capture the atmosphere, and it is just there's something quite unique about it. I mean, obviously, none of us are really that keen. Obviously, Liverpool, with the Kop end, it does have that sort of appeal to look at. And I think everyone looks at, Dortmund's the one, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, of course it is. Football's a commercial machine, isn't it? And stadiums are made to be a commercial machine.
Of course it is. I think it's a funny one though, because as like you say, as good as some nights are, I think some in memory are obviously that Everton game, Leicester in the Cup, Brighton when Target scored that last minute. I remember I kind of put my head up and I was in the lap of like a middle-aged woman's like bust, and like that's just what happens in those. You jump, you get punched, you get elbowed, but then you walk out and you know. But
And you
as
marry
good
her.
as they can be. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, as good as they can be. You know, when we've had games, certainly last season when we were up against it, and we knew that they were must-win games, the atmosphere was toxic before the first whistle, and you felt the tension. And I've said this before on previous podcasts. I genuinely think that Villa are one of the teams that's benefited most from fans not being in the stadium.
100%.
And again, that might upset fans, but I do believe that we can be as big a hindrance to the team as we are a benefit.
We were down, Drew. Mate, we were after that Monday night against Leicester City away. We were down. There's no shadow of doubt we were down. And Smith used it. Well, he said himself, he's used the lockdown to get into them, and that's the reason we stayed up, was because of lockdown. That's the only good thing to come out of lockdown, really. The Villa staying up.
At what point did you think that's it? The tide's turn. We're staying up then.
I was quite vocal on Twitter, and I think I've even pinned it on my account.
Yeah,
that
pin it. I saw
pin
it.
I was pinning it. That's my favorite. I love pinning it. I thought we were staying up the first game we come out of lockdown. After that game, there was just something.
When they turn the Hawkeye off, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, mate. We had a power cut. It's something just changed. The mentality of the players, the style of play, the attitude, the whole thing just changed. And I was pretty confident all the way through that we would stay up from there on.
I was probably a little bit more sceptical. I actually felt, and I know this sounds a bit strange, but it was out of Villa's hands until Watford sacked the manager. And that was when I thought things have just been aligned in Villa's favour here. And I think everything just we were playing really well, but weren't quite getting the results. But you thought, you know what? You know, I think we went up 1-0 against Everton, and El Ghazi missed that one on the line. And I thought, Jesus, this just, like that was the goal that kind of keeps us up. And then that didn't happen. And then I just thought, and then obviously Watford, that was kind of the moment for me. I think that I thought, yeah, that's us now.
It'd be interesting from a different opposition fan's point of view, Dale. What did you think? Did you think the Villa were going to stay up?
I actually was the one filling you with all the belief and confidence, Bernie. And actually, I personally think that sort of. I think it's interesting you saying about the Sheffield United one, but actually, did you lose 3 games in a row? I think shortly after that, or was it Newcastle as a draw, something like that, weren't it?
Yeah,
Newcastle.
That was it. I think personally, it was when you beat Arsenal. It's when you beat Arsenal 1-0.
Beating Arsenal was quite late on to the series of those games.
Yeah. But I will say, I mean, I think it was getting quite tight, and I kept on saying to Dale, like, being a Villa fan and kind of knowing the ups and downs that Villa kind of bring to you, I'd sort of say, I think that's it now, and he was going, nah, he said, I still think there's enough in there. There's enough quality in your team. And I look around you and I was like, I just felt there was more at Bournemouth. I felt like there was a bit more fight at Watford at the time. And it was Dale that kept on saying that you're staying up, I promise you. And, to this day, I still wish I would have put a bet on, because I think we were decent odds at one point, but
someone did.
Did that yourself?
yeah.
Oh,
mate.
No, I said on the. I think it was
pinned it.
Pinned it.
The first or second one we did, and for me it was just just eking that extra percentage out the players. Wearing an Aston Villa shirt means more than wearing a Watford or a Bournemouth shirt, and I'll say that even as a Wolves fan, your old school traditional club, and some just mean more than others.
Yeah,
and that's just how it is. So, just part of the intro process to yourself, then we've got a couple of quick fire questions here that we'll shoot at you. If you just give us quick answers to give us a bit more of an insight. Favorite ever player for Villa?
Paul McGrath. God, done.
I've actually met him. I have actually met him at.
Was it in a pub?
No. Actually, funnily enough, it was at Bescott Stadium. It was at Bescott Stadium. Did an after dinner speech. He did. No Paul Merson, but he was all right. Is he the only Villa player to win the PFA?
I think he was, Dale. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. I think he was.
It's a bit before us when he McGrath, but I speak to like my old man and my granddad, and he just said, you've got no idea. You just got no idea how good he was.
He didn't train during the week.
Yeah.
He didn't train during the week. He was alcoholic. He admits in his book he was an alcoholic, and he was just what he did with a ball and the time. It was just like he didn't have the pace. He had it just up here.
Yeah.
His pace was there, and it was just incredible to watch and a joy to watch him week in, week out. To be honest with you,
That's how many people just talk about Paul Ince like that, don't they? So he didn't really necessarily have the legs, but his footballing brain was unbelievable.
And do you know who reminds me currently like that? And I'm probably going to get absolute slated in Andrew on the Twitter. He's Conser. Something about Conser, mate. He just thinks. It's just game. He sees it before anybody else sees it. And
I think he's going to prove to be. I genuinely think he's kind of going to prove to be one of the best centre halves we've had in years. Like you're talking your Melbergs, you're talking your Lawson eras. I think he's that good. He really is. He's like even now, isn't it? I've been saying bleating onto these lot about him, and now that he's kind of you're getting Jamie Carragher all over him on the commentary. People are starting to recognise him, and he's been in the news all week about is he going to stay England? Is he going? And I ain't being funny. Tottenham wouldn't be able to afford him. Liverpool can't afford a centre half when they really need one. So when it's a luxury, they've got no chance.
He's got natural talent.
Yeah. Oh, he's frightening. Absolutely frightening. Okay, cool.
Question number 2.
Second question.
Best game you've ever been to involving Aston Villa?
Good question. I'd have to go one of the European nights. I'd have to go probably Villa into Milan. When Phil King scored the penalty on the shootout. I was young. Well, yeah, I was youngish, and to watch my team beat Inter Milan on a penalty shootout, it's just like, wow. Yeah, it's cream, isn't it?
You know what? I've said this a lot. I'm 29, and I've said like. Of the years my mum and dad, I was fortunate. My mum and dad, they've got me a season ticket when I was 4. But what do you remember when you were that age? And I said to the lads, it's a shame really, because when they're talking about the proper Villa days, like I haven't really seen that sort of success. I saw the Martin O'Neills and kind of tiptoeing around Europa and stuff like that, but not the proper taking on the big giants of football. And I haven't really seen that as a Villa fan. And like, that's what, everyone, we're a massive club and this and that. And I haven't really seen that. And that's, obviously that's the dream, to kind of be able to sort of brush shoulders with those sort of teams again, really. But
it's coming. It's definitely coming. It'll be our turn. This 5-year plan that the Villa go on about, I think we're ahead of schedule. I can see it.
I think we went up a year ahead. I really do. I think they thought we would be in the Championship for 2 years, and we just went on that mad run. I don't think anyone would have seen it coming. And yeah, I'm with you there. I think we are a year, 2 years ahead of schedule, to be honest.
Exciting.
Okay, next question. Favorite away ground you've ever been to?
Again, controversial for me and a lot of guys on the Twitter and all my mates. And I don't know if you've gone to away games, Dale. It's about the experience, mate. It's not exactly about the ground. It's about the experience. So it's getting up at 6:30 in the morning, getting on a stupid train, being with all your mates, and it's experience. And for me, I'll give you 2, and they're really controversial. Wigan, because the pound goes a long way. and then the opposite side, Fulham. You're by the Thames and you've got the sun beating down on you, and you're going to watch your team with your mates.
I've never been to either end ground, but I've often wondered at Craven Cottage, is it mixed behind the goal in the away end?
The side is mixed, yeah, and then behind the goal is usual away and then home. Sorry, mate, go on.
I was going to say, yeah, just to sort of elaborate on that. I mean, mine's always a little bit controversial. I've done your Anfield, I've done Old Trafford, but yeah, one for me that I always enjoyed was Ricoh Arena in Coventry. Just a cracking away day. It really, really was, and we always seem to get a good result there as well, which obviously makes the day even better.
Yeah, but I would say Wembley, but it's like a home ground for us at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I get to. I'm quite lucky in my line of work, is I go to a lot of stadiums up and down the country, so I see a lot of the same stadiums, same structures. So I always go side guys for the experience rather than the stadium. So yeah, that's me.
No, good answer. Quite refreshing as well to hear as well. So big up Wigan, big up Fulham.
Yeah, big up the pound.
Again, first football match you ever went to?
I think you've already answered this, haven't you?
Yeah, that was the 1984 Liverpool. Yeah.
Yeah, and
we lost.
Who is the most underrated player currently at Villa?
I'm gonna say a controversial one. I heard Drew's brilliant podcast with Aaron the other night, and everybody said Target, but for me, I don't think Matty Cash gets enough praise, and I should tell you why, and I'll tell you the reasons why. We brought him from Nottingham Forest, right? And if you go back again to Twitter, a lot of the fans going, "Why do we need a right back? Why do we need the right back? Who's this Matty Cash from Notts Forest?"
Yeah, I agree.
The guy was 15 million. We're talking about the guy for England. He comes straight out of the Championship, and dear man, it's just a complete modern fullback for me.
Yeah.
So we go on about Target being underrated. So for me, yeah, Matty Cash.
It's a funny one actually, because I think again we've got a couple of Wolves lads in our chat, and a lot of them were sort of saying we're disappointed that we weren't in for Cash, like, or if we were, we didn't win the battle to sort of, because I think, I mentioned this the other day, he just fits Dean's profile completely. I mean, sometimes I think you don't even need to slide there, Cashy, but you just want to, because you want to, put one on him. And I think that's gone out of the game a bit, like I saw on Twitter, and it was, I'm not sure, I think it was Stoke Academy, and some kids come in and 5 years ago it was an outstanding tackle, but now he's probably been booked and been told off by his gaffer because he's left the floor and he's gone right through him. And I think that sort of thing has actually left our game a little bit. And Cash is a bit of a throwback right back, but again, he's a really young lad. It's his first season in the Premier League. Not many people get past him. And his interception and tackle rates highest right back in the league. And like you say, I think, the way Trent's playing, Wan-Bissaka, does he fit Gareth Southgate's model? He could be an outside shout for a tip for England,
I think I looked, he was around about 20 to 25 to 1,
Was he?
Well, as soon as I got here, then Dale, I'm putting
Pin
that
it.
on, mate. I'm going to pin it.
Well, what I did say the other day is I said that I suggested that Sevilla at 50 to 1 were an outside tip for the Champions League. I checked the next day and they were 40 to 1. So, what can I say?
That's it.
Sky better listening to you.
Exactly.
That's it. The next podcast you guys do is Sky Bet sponsored.
That's it. Just kind of bringing it back to Villa, obviously, and obviously, like you say, you've followed Villa for a long time now, and the last 5 years have been difficult. They really have. But kind of, what's your thoughts on sort of the current state from first team to academy? And I know we're doing quite a lot for the women's sport as well. I mean, I know that we brought a lot of players in the women's side, which people probably don't know a lot about it either. So, what's your thoughts on the whole state of the club at the minute?
It's just refreshing, isn't it, Drew? It's absolutely refreshing. I mean, if you'd said to me the position we would be in at the moment, I'd have laughed at it, mate. It's just the whole club from top to bottom is refreshing. And again, you knocked on it earlier. We've got guys like Redknapp and Carragher are actually talking about the Villa and saying, look, what a pleasure to watch. Mm. And we are an absolute pleasure to watch. And we're so thankful for the owners,
Yeah.
But again, it's going to be controversial. We're going to get to a stage in 2 or 3 years. We're going to go on to another level, and that other level is Smith going to be cutting out to go to that other level. And what I mean by that other level, we are going to be a Champions League team. There's no doubt about it. If the recruitment carries on, we're just a juggernaut. We're just storming through it at the moment. And again, I don't want to go on about Twitter, and we've got guys moaning on Twitter saying, change this and change that. Guys, we're 8th. We've got 13. We've got 13 clean sheets.
Yeah.
I was with. Do you remember again? Back to Wigan. We went to Wigan. It was Courtney House from Wolves' first game, mate.
Yeah, I remember it, and everyone slated him, didn't they?
Yeah, we got played off the park that day. It was miserable. It was cold. Again, the pound went a long way, but we got absolutely murdered. We're all in the pub. After saying Smith's got to go. I was. Mm-hmm. Smith's got to go. There's no forward. We're not going forward. This guy. Fast forward it now. I was so thankful to Dean Smith. I'm so thankful to the owners. But there will be a stage where we will have to look to another level. A bit like you said, Dale with Nuno, really. You will have to look at another level sooner or later. Will Smith go to that other level? Let's see.
Well, it's funny, actually, because, again, looking at the odds, I saw that Dean Smith's now the favourite to be the next England manager. Now, if that's his natural progression, you know, Everton bringing someone like Ancelotti, are we now in a position that we're sort of, I know we've got to stable ourselves in sort of a mid to top side in the Premier League. Is that the sort of calibre of manager you think that we would need to sort of get in the next couple of years to sort of go to the next level? Or do you think if we do stick with a long-term plan with Smith, does he have that in his locker that he can take us to that level?
It's the unknown, isn't it, Drew, mate? It's the unknown, basically. I think we should have a statue outside Villa Park for Smith for what he's done, and I held my hands up. I wanted him out of that Wigan away. He's been tremendous, but I'm just saying to fans now, you've got to be realistic. We don't know how Smith's going to perform in the Champions League. At the moment, sometimes Smith does let himself down with no plan B. You're certainly going to need a plan B and a plan C in the Champions League and in Europe.
And actually make a sub before 85th minute.
Well, that's it, mate. So I hope, and fingers crossed, that Smith is the man to take us forward, because I think he probably is. But you've got to also be aware we might have to go on another level. Everton prime example with Ancelotti. They've gone to another level of a manager, and I see Everton as a similar size club to the Villa.
Yeah, it's a funny one, because we had this discussion. I think I had it with Aaron as well, that saying that we were stagnating a little bit in the Prem before we went down. We were sort of just surviving, and to me, I look at Everton and I think massive club. To be honest with you, a surest bet that you can have over the last couple of years is Everton are going to finish 10th. Now, as an Everton fan, do you just want to keep on bobbing along? I mean, at least over the last 5 years, we've had something to talk about. I mean, we couldn't afford a packet of quavers 3 years ago. Now we're 8th in the Premier League. At least we've had a bit of a journey. Everton are just like, 9th, 10th, 11th again. Do you know what I mean?
I said that to you, didn't I? That obviously, I know. 3 major cup finals in 11 years, back-to-back playoff finals, staying up on the final day. It really has been a bit of a roller coaster decade for you, hasn't it?
Massively, yeah, massively.
It's going to flatten itself out sooner or later. So we've got to make a decision where you go from there, because you certainly don't want to go down.
No,
we want to stay at top 10, top 8, fight for cups and fight for Europe.
Yeah. Something that's also been a bit of a discussion point for ourselves is just a lot of my mates, Wolves, Baggies, Blues, as you can well imagine, they're convinced that Grealish is off in the summer. I'm sort of trying to reassure them that, like, he's come out as an interview and sort of said he expected us to finish about 12th this year. So my argument is, why would he sign a 5-year contract thinking we're going to finish mid-table if he hasn't bought into the long-term plan? I mean, what's your thoughts?
Jack's not going anywhere, is he? Jack's not going anywhere. Not while Smith's at the helm, and not while he's earning £200,000 a week, and he's a club captain at a club he loves.
And who can afford him in this climate?
And he's going to move just the sake of moving. He's got everything here. He's a hero. He's a club captain of a boyhood club. His family loves the Villa. His brother goes down. His brother goes to away games. He's got everything he wants. I just can't.
He's an England regular as well, which is important.
No, from Jack's point of view, that's all Jack wanted to be, is play for England. Yeah. And I think that's quite common knowledge now. He wanted to play for England. He wanted to captain his boyhood club, and he wants to win things with the Villa. At the moment, he's on a crest of a wave, so I can't see Jack going anywhere, mate.
Okay, I'll just play devil's advocate here a little bit then. Just for example, say, in 2 years' time, you haven't achieved Champions League football. He still hasn't kicked the ball in the Champions League. I've actually pitched the idea that this guy, now I love Jack Grealish, I think he's a superb player, but given the level he's actually competed at yet, he hasn't played in the Champions League, he hasn't realistically played at elite level in an international competition. In terms of big games on a league basis, he hasn't been involved in big title deciding games. So realistically, there is a fair argument that this guy could still be a prospect.
I'll throw it back at you, Dale. I'll throw something back at you, mate. When it's in your blood, you want to stay at a club. Steve Bull.
Yeah, completely understand that. But in this day and age, when he knows he could probably be good enough to get into the vast majority of teams across Europe. And if a big club did come in and he could go to a Champions League challenging team, that's when the true test will come for me.
See, this is what our argument has been, no, and we've kind of all agreed, really, and I still don't really agree. I think he walks into any club in the world now. I think he's that good, and I'm including City, I'm including Barca and Real Madrid in that. You don't think he would walk into City, and I even had a shout that Gundogan's better than him and keeps him at the team.
Not from me, but
no, it wasn't from yourself. That was from someone else, but. I just don't see that Liverpool can afford him. I mean, you've seen that they're desperate for centre backs. That they've gone for the cheapest option in a failing German side to get him to get this Ozan Kabak or what his name is. City, realistically, they don't really need any more wingers. They're littered with them. Don't think he needs. Me personally, I don't think you get the best of Jack in the number 10 position. Arsenal just not even in the talking of it. Spurs, I mean, with the greatest respect, we talk about bobbing along. That's all Tottenham do. They just bob along, look like they're going to contend, fall off, do it again next season. Let's face it, they should be more worried about people like Harry Kane and Son wanting to leave rather than bringing in people like Jack. Chelsea, again, they've got 10 wingers. Do they need him? Probably only people that can afford him, but probably need to look at their defence more. Man United, I just don't see where he's not going to replace Rashford, is he? He's just not going to replace Rashford. As much as I think he's better than Rashford, what Rashford is to Man U is what Jack is to us, and that's, for me, that kind of rules out all of his moves other than foreign moves. And Barca are pretty much bankrupt.
Jack will not want to cheat the club, mate. He'll want to get the best deal for the club. So, and you've knocked it right on the head, mate. There's no one else can afford him.
Yeah. I think a lot of the lads were sort of saying this, that when he signed his contract, there's got to be a gentleman's agreement that, you know, if a team comes in, I said, if you run a business and you've got an asset worth £1 million, but it's been a really, really good asset to your business, and then someone comes in and goes, I'll give you 800 grand for it. You're not just going to go, you've made me a lot of money, off you go and shake their hand. No chance. These people that are in charge of our club are astute businessmen, and they are going to go, actually, he's worth 100 in the market, but he's worth 140 to us. So pay what we want or move along.
Every player does have a price, and that's the key point.
Not the player. Every club has got a price now. It is very,
it
very
is a business. It is a business. And what I was saying to you, what I was saying to you the other day is that a lot of players are inflated, especially in recent seasons. We can point to certain players being way above what they should have been. I think Pepe at Arsenal being the prime example, of a player being way over what he's worth. But I did actually say that 80 million is probably about the right value. Not necessarily saying that you would sell for that price, but personally, if you look at current market and, you look at some, to be saying that he's worth more than 100 million, he's putting him into the top 5 or 6 players in the world. He's not there yet. Mate, 80 million is about the right price, but there's no way you'd sell him for that. There's no way you'd sell him for that.
No,
I don't think you get his crappy white boot. It's all mangled for 80 million, mate. Seriously.
Nah. And I think you've got to understand as well that Adama Traore was touted at 100 million at the start of this season. Me personally,
but that's just papers. I think that's just papers. I think when we've just sold Jota for 40 million. There's no realistic way Traore is worth 1.5 times that.
But what you've got to understand is that these are the things that influence a player's price. So if a paper is touting at him at 100 million, I'm sorry, Jack you put another zero in it.
No, I'll get that. And that's what I'm saying. That I'm not saying that you'd necessarily, there's no way you'd sell at 80 million, but just I think that is a fair evaluation of his price. Prices are way through the roof.
Yeah.
Liverpool got the best end of the deal with Jota at 40 million. No doubt about that, given the age, and look what he'd done when he went there before he got injured. He was carrying that team. I said that, they miss Jota more than they miss Van Dijk. And that might be a shocking.
How much did Bale go from Spurs to Madrid for?
86.
And how long ago was that, mate? How long ago was that?
Oh, it's about 6-7 years ago now, was it?
There we are.
But that's the thing. But he was nowhere.
140.
They're not worth that price. What I'm saying?
No, they're not.
But that's what he's worth to the club. But in the current market right now, I could see that if someone did come in for Jack with 100 million bid in the summer, it would be very difficult for the club to say no.
No, you don't know our club. That's a problem. And this is the problem, is that people don't understand what position Villa are in as a club and our owners. I mean, you know, I've said this to Aaron the other day, like our owns Milwaukee Bucks. They've got the best player in NBA. They've got the best player in NBA, and all the other clubs were sort of trying to get him on contract, and they've tied him down to 5 years because they believe in what our owners are saying. And I've got to say, I said again, I'll repeat myself from what I said to the other day, that our owners have said we're going to do this in 5 years' time. We've just said at the start of this podcast, we're 2-3 years ahead of that time. So in 5 years' time, our owners are they're going to be like, they just, you know, what they've said to us. And, you know, you get a lot of lip service when you get a new chairman or a new owner. And our owners, these owners right now are, in my lifetime, the best that we've ever been. The position of the club. And I can tell you right now, if somebody wanted someone like Concert, I'm telling you now, he ain't going for a jot less than 50 million. And I'll tell you that right now, because our owners will get what they want, not what the club needs, what they want.
Which is brilliant, mate. This is why it's why the club's going forward. People don't realise, and I'll touch on it very quickly, is Wes Edens he's actually made a profit out of lockdown.
Yeah.
You won't get many football owners who actually make a profit out of lockdown. The guy is, you know, that's just part of the Laurel and Hardy of who owns us. We've got two multi-billionaire owners, not one, two, and the Wes Edens actually made a profit out of lockdown.
Crazy.
All right, then. So just final thoughts then. Where do you think you'll finish come the end of the season?
I will tell you after we've played Everton and Spurs, because I think they're key games now.
Yeah,
there are two games in hand. Yeah,
it's it, mate. That's it. But
so once you're back on a level played amount of games, then exactly. I guess you're right. It levels itself out, then, doesn't it?
But for me, you know, all plastic rivalries aside, you know, all rivalries aside, you know, it is refreshing to sort of see a traditional club resurging back through, and you know, no one wants to see oil money dominating, do they? No, you know, it's all about the traditional clubs, the Midlands clubs, the heartbeat of English football. We very much cast aside for the obsession with the North and the London clubs and the glitz and glamour down south. But for me, you know, it started in the Midlands with three founding members of the Football League. So yeah,
which is why your podcast is refreshing, guys, and full credit to you again without brown nosing you. It's about opinions, isn't it? It's not just all about Villa. You know, it's nice to hear from Dale from an outside point of view. £80 million for Jack Grealish is totally wrong, but yeah, but it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear.
That's going to be the headline of this podcast. Yeah, 80 million for Jack.
You'll get about 2,000 views on it straight away, mate.
That's it, mate. But listen, we really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for inviting me on.
We're at our early days of this, and you know, to get sort of views like yourself and Aaron, we really appreciate it, mate. And yeah, thanks ever so much.
Appreciate you guys, and good luck.
Lovely. And you're welcome back anytime as well.
Thanks, mate. Good luck, guys. Take care.
Good,
see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.